So this tank has two very large canister filters on it. Now, how often these filters need to be cleaned is number one, due to the amount of fish in the tank. And let's say this is a maximum. I do not want more fish put in this tank. Therefore, if you need more fish for the tank, that means other ones have to come out. Otherwise, Mother Nature is likely to knock them off. The next thing is how good the quality of the food is. So this is very high quality food. But what I'm going to ask in the future is we don't want to just blindly go off teaspoons. We just need to watch the bellies of the fish. So over time, if we look at the belly of these fish, so we're looking at this guy here, he's a bit of a fatty. Let's say he's a bit on the fat side. This one here is a bit of a fatty as well. So the average fish is a little bit on the fat side. I'm not going to say that it's crazy because they're not all super fat, and you never want to pay too much attention about the fattest one or the skinniest one.
Maybe they get more food.
It's really the average one that you want to worry about. So there's quite a number of fish in here, but all in all, I'd say they're just a little bit on the fat side. So therefore, if we didn't feed them for 1 week, then that would just thin them out a little bit, which would be quite good for them. And then I want you to feed the fish, as a rule, approximately what they eat in 30 seconds. So all the food's gone in 30 seconds. Now that is a starting point. It's not like a hard and fast rule, because over time, you really got to be watching the belly of the fish. And if you're seeing a fat belly like this one, where the belly's like bulging down, then you probably want to be feeding a little bit less. And it has to be average. It can't be all of them. So you've got a couple of sharks here. That one there probably chases that one around a lot, I imagine.
Yeah.
So you've got a subdominant and a dominant.
I thought they were
Now,
male and female.
What, feed them a bit every 3 days or 5 days or what?
I don't like feeding every day, so I tend to feed about 5 days a week. And then I tend to be watching the belly of the fish, and I'll put in approximately what I think they eat in 30 seconds as a guide.
Yeah.
And then over time, if I keep seeing these fat bellies, then I'll just feed a bit less than whatever I was feeding. And if I start seeing skinny bellies, and what a skinny belly is if you look at the gill plate of the fish and the anus of the fish, if you ever see that go up, which yours are definitely going down, if you ever see that go up, that means you're not feeding enough. Because what we don't want to do is go from feeding too much to feeding not enough.
Yeah.
So you want to watch the average belly of the fish. So I'd say some of your fish are fat, but I'd say on average, they're just a little bit on the fat side. So I think you could cut down your food a little bit. So if you fed 5 times a week, so that's not every day, and you fed approximately what they eat in 30 seconds, and you watch their belly over time, then I would be happy with that.
Okay.
Now that one is the big thing for the filters. Now if you open up the filters and they're super dirty, there's lots of crap in them, then maybe they could be done more often. But as a gut feel, I'd probably say if you did each one about every 3 months, that would be about right. In a perfect world, you'd probably do them once a month. But to be honest, most people would probably, if you did one every 6 weeks, I'd say that's pretty normal. I'd say that's
different times, not the
if you did that one, and then 6 weeks later you did that one, and 6 weeks later you did that one.
Okay, I'll do them every 6 weeks.
Then that would be really good. And so once again, we're really trying to treasure what's in the filter. Now, so the filter itself is just like your engine mount, and the engine is what's in it. So in the Aqua One filters, there's usually biological media, but you could get much better biological media if you wanted to, something like Marine Pure to put in there, and that would do a better job than what comes in it. And you could definitely put some polyfilter in there. And polyfilter is like magic.
And polyfilter, that's the fluffy stuff, isn't it?
Well, no, it's like a white pad, and it changes colour according to what it's removing, and it turns to black to tell you it's done.
No, that's not.
So if you've got actual polyfilter, it's like magic. Yeah, that's it. Oh, no.
Right here.
Yeah, so no, that's filterable. That's a good filterable, that one.
Yeah.
So as far as filterable goes, that's a really good filterable, but that's not polyfilter. And by the way, you've got this food too. That's very, very good food. Yeah, this is very, very good food, this one. So that makes your fish super colourful. So if you fed that food there, as a combination with this food, that's about as good as you can get.
And the little one, I feed the little ones, that food little.
Yeah, that's okay. But we just need to make sure it's all eaten in 30 seconds. And then I'd probably one day feed that one day feed that one day a bit of both, one day none.
Yeah.
So you want to break up what's going in
Mix it up a bit. Yeah.
so they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So then we're going to cut the nutrients back. I would recommend if you wanted to clear it up faster, you could use polyfilter. That would clear it up faster.
Well, with the polyfilter, you just put them in.
You put in the filter. In the meantime,
Where in the pump?
Very top.
Right on the top.
I've got some.
right on top is we're going to open up both filters. We're going to add some bio super concentrate, which is good bacteria. That's going to help seed the good bacteria. And we're going to chuck a bit of algon in. That's going to suck out the nitrate and phosphate, reduce the algae. Then we're going to put in some polyfilter. The polyfilter is going to strip anything impure out of the water. And what these things are going to do is allow the situation to favour the bacteria over the algae. Then we're going to turn the light out and leave it out until the water clears up. So let's say more than a week. And we're going to give the aquarium a full dose of the salt once we're finished what we're doing, because that's really going to help the fish's body slime and immune system. Also, because I'm seeing a little bit of flicking and scratching, if suddenly we're seeing a lot of flicking and scratching, then I want to treat it with a white spot cure. So if that was the case, I would need to take this out straight away, the polyfilter, because you can't dose the polyfilter while we're medicating, because that would take out the medication. And in saying that, adding the Riflake salt is going to be a really wonderful way of helping to give the fish back their good body slime to help them not require medication. Putting my hand in this tank, not that I'm a human thermometer, but it feels nice. It feels like the temperature's right. So this one's a heater. That's actually going to set the heater right, but it doesn't tell us what it actually is because that's a thermostat, not a thermometer. I'd really like to see just a little thermometer just to be sure. Because if that one's set on 28, the chances are the tank's 28, the chances are everything's fine. It's just that I still feel safer with the thermometer because then I actually know what it is. The other thing I just want to point out too with our foods is it's really important that when we open up the foods, we need to keep them sealed, because the enemy of fish food is wet fingers and oxygen. So you want to keep the food nice and shut because that's how we keep it fresh. Now it's doing a bit of gravel clean, and I'm trying to get a bit of a guide of how dirty the tank is by just putting the gravel cleaner in the back of this tank and getting all of the crap out of the gravel. All in all, the tank's actually pretty clean. Like the water is definitely green. We can tell by the white bucket. It's really good using a white bucket for your fish stuff, because the white bucket really gives us an indication of what your water's actually like.
It looks like, yeah.
Because when you look in the bucket and the bucket's green, well then guess what? You know your water's green. But all in all, the tank's actually pretty clean. So if the tank was super dirty when I went to do the gravel clean, then maybe we do have to get some fish out. But on the basis that the tank, it really isn't that bad. It's just that your algae's winning. And maybe your algae is just winning because you've done a filter clean just after they've probably put chlorine in the tap water. Because one thing people do need to realise with tap water is you can do the same thing several times.
Well, you know, the other week when we done it,
Yep.
I had a drink of water up at my place.
Yes.
And the water tasted funny.
You know what? That's probably true. Because actually, even my water, I just live down the road from here, and I can drink the water. Sometimes it's quite pleasant, and other times you can really tell the water's
like
not
a plain taste.
It's not tasting so good. One thing we just got to be aware of is whenever we buy a filter, sometimes the best thing to do is take it all apart and put it back together, because you find little secrets, like for example that your media is still in the plastic. So obviously it's not going to work. So once we take the media out of the plastic,
Both of them like
then we'll be rocking. We'll check the other filter in a second. So what we're going to do now is take it all out.
It's all right, because I mean, I pulled that to pieces.
Yeah, of course it'll be okay. And we'll put some polyfilter on the top, and we leave the polyfilter in until it turns black.
Okay.